Chapter 1, verse 5.
It is you we worship, and you we ask for help.
This verse reminds mankind to always act with sincerity towards Allah, the Exalted, both outwardly and inwardly. Outwardly in the form of physical prayer, and inwardly by only relying on His infinite mercy while turning away from relying on anything else. This does not mean one should not use means, such as medicine, and instead rely only on direct divine help. Instead, a Muslim should use the means created and provided by Allah, the Exalted, rely on His help and then accept His decree under all circumstances, believing He chooses the best for His servants. Chapter 2 verse 216.
But perhaps you hate a thing and it is good for you, and perhaps you love a thing and it is bad for you. And Allah knows, while you know not.
This is why the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, advised someone to tie up their camel, meaning use the means provided by Allah, the Exalted, and then trust that He will keep the camel safe. This is mentioned in a narration found in Jami' at-Tirmidhi, number 2517. In reality, using the means created and provided by Allah, the Exalted, while acknowledging they are from Him, is an aspect of trusting in Him. Acknowledging that Allah, the Exalted, is the only entity worthy of worship is in fact an acknowledgement of a Muslim's servanthood to Him. One should therefore prove their declaration of servanthood by striving to obey their master by fulfilling his commands, refraining from his prohibitions, and by facing destiny with patience. In addition, it is important to note that this verse has been arranged in a specific way, meaning, the remembrance of Allah, the Exalted, has come before the remembrance of the worshipper. It is you we worship. This is an indication that a Muslim should always fulfill the etiquette of true servanthood by placing the will and desire of Allah, the Exalted, before their will and desire, meaning, they should not observe their servanthood and the worldly blessings they possess. Instead, they should focus on the lordship of Allah, the Exalted, and strive to fulfill His rights. In addition, one should never become distracted by the giver of help and blessings by the blessings themselves. This is why Allah, the Exalted, is mentioned first, then His help in the form of blessings mentioned next. So a Muslim should not become lost in the blessings they receive, as this is the first step to misusing them, thereby failing to fulfill true gratitude and servanthood to Him. If one always focuses on the giver of blessings and help, namely Allah, the Exalted, they will always use the blessings according to His command. This is true gratitude and leads to an increase in blessings. Chapter 14, verse 7.
And remember when your Lord proclaimed, "If you are grateful, I will surely increase you in favor."
The specific order of words in the verse also inspires one to adopt patience during difficulties, such as the loss of blessings. If one focuses on the lost blessings instead, they will more easily become impatient. But the Muslim who fulfills the order sequence of this verse by focusing on Allah, the Exalted, and their obedience to Him will not be affected in such a way if they lose some worldly blessings. Instead, they will remain patient through sincere obedience to Him. Finally, the specific order of words clearly indicates the purpose of mankind, namely, the sincere obedience and worship of Allah, the Exalted. Chapter 51, verse 56.
And I did not create the jinn and mankind except to worship me.
A person may serve others, such as an employer, with the purpose of gaining worldly blessings such as wealth. But a Muslim's purpose in respect to Allah, the Exalted, should be sincerely obeying and worshipping Him. Gaining help, such as worldly blessings, are a bonus which the Muslim receives from the infinite mercy of Allah, the Exalted. They should not be a goal in themselves. Understanding this encourages Muslims to realize and actualize the purpose of their creation, which not only increases their sincere obedience to Allah, the Exalted, but also prevents worldly blessings from distracting them from this noble goal. This is the reason why the previous nations were reminded to remember the favors of Allah, the Exalted, as they were focused more on worldly blessings, whereas the Muslim nation were told to remember Allah, the Exalted, directly. Chapter 2, verse 122.
O children of Israel, remember my favor which I have bestowed upon you.
And chapter 2, verse 152.
So remember me, I will remember you. And be grateful to me, and do not deny me.